So then guys, I've had my iPhone 16 Pro Max now for pretty much a year, being the iPhone 17 models are just about to launch. But one little secret I've kept from you guys is I've managed to keep the battery life at 100%. The health I'm talking about, the battery health, when you go into those settings and when you sort of give away your phone one day maybe, people ask about the battery health, what's the status? I've kept it at 100% for the whole of last year, what is absolutely amazing. And today I want to tell you my 4 different secrets in how I've managed to achieve this and how you can do it for your next new phone that you plan to get, because it is quite simple, 4 steps to do, and you could actually have some great battery life and not have any kind of battery degradation during the next year or so with that. So first of all, let me show you my iPhone, and as you can see right here, I go into my battery health. You could see that I've actually had this phone. It was first turned on in September 2024. Obviously, it was made before then, but you know, that's when I first activated it. Makes sense. That's when I did my first review with this phone. And then since then, you can see I've done over 200 charges on this phone. And you know, my battery health is still at 100%. It's still the same original battery inside of this phone. What's absolutely incredible. Now, the first thing I want to say at this stage is I have not had any kind of battery restrictions put onto my iPhone over this last year. So in settings, you can set your battery to only charge up to say 80% at maximum if you want to do that, or even slightly less, I believe, or 95%. And I have not done that once over this whole last 12 months. It has been always set to 100%. That's the way I've always just had it. So I just want to get that out the way straight away. Now, something what I have had turned on, and this is one of the reasons, although I'd say the first thing I would say to make sure you have on your phone switched on, and that is the batteries optimization setting switched on. Now, this setting is quite an important one. Now, if you know anything about batteries right now, is that generally speaking, they are their healthiest up to 80%. Like, even though I said I didn't have that restriction on, but what tends to happen is that when you have your battery filled right up to 100%, it's not actually the best for it unless you start draining it straight away. So this battery's optimization setting, what it literally is for is that when you put your phone on charge at night, say if you go to bed at say 10 or 11 p.m, just saying that, I know some people go different times, but what will happen is the phone will charge up whatever percentage it's at all the way up to 80%. But what it's very clever in knowing is that through the day, when you wake up in the morning, it can work out by using AI and things like this, that what time you kind of wake up in the morning. So say if you woke up at 7 a.m. every morning or 7 to 8 a.m. every morning, something like that, then what will start to happen is the battery optimization setting will start to realize that's what you do. So it will fill up to 80% battery, you know, from like 10 p.m. to, I don't know, 1 a.m. in the morning. It will stay at 80% all the way around to about 6 a.m. in the morning, because it knows that you're going to get up at say 7 or 8 a.m. So then it will do that remainder 20% charge. And this helps the battery through that night, not just being at 100% charge, fully maxed out. It doesn't, you know, put any pressure on the phone during that time, what is really, really good. And this is the first setting I would recommend. And this has helped me keep that 100% battery life. Now, moving on, the next thing what I've done, and this is probably, I'd say, the most important change that I've done for my iPhone, and that is that it does claim that the iPhone, you know, 16 Pro Max can, you know, charge at 45 watts. I did even a test last year at some point when the phone first came out. I couldn't even get it to charge at 45 watts. I could charge it like at 40 watts, but just wouldn't really push up to 45. But this is where the cool thing is, what I'd say, the change what I've done. When I'm charging at night, believe it or not, I charge it on a MagSafe charger, and the one that I've got is a Qi 2.0 charger. This only allows 15 watts of charging into this phone. And this is super important because, believe it or not, the slower the charge into the battery actually helps maintain the life of these batteries. Now, Funny enough, there's something else that's quite weird out there. If you own an electric car right now, let's say you've got that, or a hybrid car, it's been a known fact already that if you're a person who charges your car up at night at, say, 7 kilowatts or let's say 10 kilowatts per hour at night, and do that, even if you charge that every single night, that is far better than going down the road and finding a place where you can charge your car at, say, 50 kilowatts or even 150 kilowatts or even more than that. And if you kept on using those ones, your battery life actually starts to go down quicker. But if you do it at a slower pace, so a slower charging speed, it maintains the battery, it maintains the health. And this is the whole thing for me at night. Obviously, I'm not using my phone because I'm asleep. So funny enough, actually using a slower charger by your bed at night is a better option. It's better not to actually have a super fast charger. Don't get me wrong, if you come home in the evening and your battery's down to like 15%, 10% battery, and you need a quick top up, you know, maybe use a faster charger. Don't use that slower one. But at night, when you want to get fully up to 100%, use a slower charger. It doesn't have to be MagSafe at 15 watts. It could be a plug-in one at 15 watts. It could even be 5 watts. The point is, the slower the charger, and as long as you get the battery what you want in the morning, 100% or whatever that is the way to do it. This really does help out. So next of all then, the third reason how I've managed to actually maintain my battery life on this phone. And that is, it's quite simple. Do not let it run down to almost dead and then do little top-ups until at night. What I'm talking about here is the best thing you can do is let the phone drain down to maybe around about, say, 25%, 30%, around that, and then top it up back up to, say, 80% during the day. Do not exceed 80%. Go to around that and try not to go below 25%. This also helps the battery out. It loves sitting in that middle spot, not too bloated with too much power at 100% and not having too little power at, you know, under 25%. This really also helps out the battery life. So if you do need to top up the battery, best thing to do is make sure you have a power bank on you or something like this, and then sort of start to top it up when you get to around about 30%, 25%, but do not exceed 80% with that. And then finally, the fourth way how I've managed to maintain this battery to have it at 100% throughout the whole year of me owning it, and that is also to do with heat and cooling. Make sure, obviously, do not actually charge up your phone in a super cold room. If you are, you know, working in freezers all day, don't charge it up in that same room as the freezer. The same in heat as well. So many people, I see this, they go out, you know, if you've got a life of luxury and you're sitting out by the poolside every day and it's really hot outside, you know, it's 80 Fahrenheit, 90 Fahrenheit outside and you're enjoying that sun. Don't leave your phone out and charge it up in that on a power bank. Do not charge it up on, you know, the power mains. Do not do that. Make sure it's in a room temperature kind of, that's what you want to get. You want to have like a room temperature sort of range what you want to actually charge this phone up. Do not charge it at too hot, do not charge it at too cool. And even if you are outside and you go to somewhere where it is really, really hot and you go, oh, I'll just take it indoors and charge it up now, make sure the phone cools down a bit first, because obviously the glass gets really hot, that pushes through to the battery. It needs to be quite, you know, a good room temperature already, the phone itself. And that is what I would recommend doing there. But really, guys, those are my 4 big steps, what I've managed to do to keep my battery life at 100% health throughout the last year. And I want to know from you guys, what's your battery health been like on your phone? And will you consider any of these tips that I've given you today? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.